One of the most important aspects of owning a dog is choosing the right dog for you and your lifestyle. Now, I won't address, for one, I want to address breeds. If you want to get into a good argument on social media or different platforms, that's certainly a good place to start. Everybody has their own opinions on that. I have my opinion, others have theirs, and so I won't really even talk about what breed is the best for this or for that. And then secondly, just companion dogs in general. If it's just going to be a companion dog, I do believe there's hundreds of breeds out there that can complete that task. Even a rescue dog can complete that for you, do that for you. We have a rescue dog, a Papillon. I can't even say its name right, but its only task is that it comes and sits in the recliner, it lays in the couch, it sleeps in the bed, and it's just a loving dog. It gives love. We love the dog. And so it accomplishes all those things. And so as far as breeds, as far as companion dogs, that don't really go there. But as far as sporting dogs and working dogs, that's mainly the focus that I would talk about here, is that when you are choosing a dog for that, too many times people get into some type of movie in their head of how they would like things to be, as opposed to what reality actually is. And then they start believing the movie more than they believe the actual reality in their life. The movie tells them, I would like to, buy all the gear. I'd like to go hunting 25, 30 days a year. And so they start believing that, and so they start searching out a dog that can accomplish those things. But in reality, they're only going to go hunting 3 or 4 times at most, whatever it is, waterfowl, upland hunting, shed hunting, whatever the case is. And so family obligations, kids' ball games, work obligations, all those things get in the way of that movie, as opposed to actually the reality of how their life is. And so you should always look at the reality versus just how you wish things were. And number one, I would say that you should always find a dog that is genetically sound, health tested, as far as working dogs are concerned, and start there first. Definitely you want a dog that you're not having to, 6 months after you buy the dog, spending money on vet bills that you either don't have the money to spend on it, or you're not willing to spend that money on it. So that is number one. You need a genetically sound, healthy dog from a responsible breeder. That should be number one for you. And then number two, you definitely need to look at what fits your lifestyle. Are you going to go hunting 25, 30 days a year? Are you going to participate in sporting dog events, hunt test events, all those things? If you're able to do those things, then definitely you need to search out a dog that has the best pedigree. The parents have hunt test titles, the grandparents do, the great-grandparents do, so on and so forth. That is certainly the dog that you need to buy so that you have the best chance to be successful at what it is that you're trying to do. But if, like most people, your time is only going to allow you and your lifestyle for you to go hunting maybe 3 or 4 times a year, the thing that you need to consider is what that dog is doing the other 360, 362 days a year. And if you go and buy, if you just read a magazine and it tells you, you need to go buy a field trial dog, a hunt test dog with, just a great pedigree and all these different standards, then, you're most liable going to end up with a dog that you go hunting with it 3 times a year, and then the other 362 days a year, whether it stays outside and it's digging holes all in your backyard, or it's tearing up the flower garden, or it's you keep it inside and it's kept in a crate 6 to 7 hours a day, and and then the rest of the time it's tearing up shoes and tearing up everything else in your house. At that point you got a problem. And then those dogs most of the time end up being sold. I mean, they're just a problem. They end up being sold, end up being given away. They end up, at the worst case scenario, then they're just given to a shelter, and they live the rest of their life in a miserable state unless they get lucky somehow. And so that's most important when you're looking at the dog that's best for you. And so again, if you're able to do those things, if you're able to hunt 25, 30 times a year, you're able to participate in sporting dog events, working dog events, then certainly you need to find the highest pedigree dog that you can find for you to be successful, the dog to be successful, and for you to be happy with the purchase that you made. But on the other hand, if you're only able to go, as most people are, 3 or 4 times a year at best, then it may be better for you to, again, number one, find a genetically sound, health-tested dog from a responsible breeder, but maybe has a little less drive than a field trial or a hunt test dog. And so, again, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you choose the right dog, that you don't listen to the movie that's playing in your head telling you, we're going to look pretty sweet with all this gear, and we're going to go hunting 25, 30 times a year in Kansas or South Dakota, and we're going to do all those things. But in reality, you're going to be at the kids' basketball game on Saturday, and that dog's going to be in the house in a crate, and lots of problems are going to arise from that. And so too many times I do believe people get caught up in something they read, something someone tells them, and it's just doesn't acclimate to their actual lifestyle. And so you do need to find, number one, a dog that is right for you, that fits your lifestyle. And that's not always a very highly driven, dog that needs a lot of stimulation, needs a lot of activity, needs to be worked a lot. People just call it hyper, but really it's not hyper. That's what that dog's bred to do. Maybe you need a dog that is just genetically sound, health tested, healthy, and that can be a good companion for you and your family, but still has the ability to be trained to a certain level, that it can accomplish those 3 or 4 times a year that you go hunting, and you can have a good time with it. But the other 361 days of the year, it can be a good pet for the family. It can stay inside, lay on the couch, can be put in the backyard, not dig up the whole backyard, not be a problem. And dogs really should be, at the end of the day, something that is something that's a good addition to your life, not something that becomes a problem for your life. And so all those things should be considered. Number one, and you should just write a list of, again, not the movie, not how you want things to be and would like things to be, but how things really are. And if you'll do those things, you'll end up with a dog that you enjoy, the dog enjoys you, and the dog doesn't, at the end of the day, end up in a place that it should have never ended up in the first place.